Welcome to NASCAR Inside the Race. I'm Kim Kuhn alongside Todd Gordon, and we are breaking down all of the big stories from Phoenix Raceway, starting with Kevin Harvick. It looked like he was going to make his way to victory lane, but a late race caution forced everyone down pit road, and pit strategy really mixed things up. Harvick took 4 tires, came in the lead, out 7. William Byron took 2. That gave him a front row restart position. What do we think about the call by Rodney Childers?
Yeah, it's a tough one to make. It's a leader situation where you've got multiple laps on tires, not a lot of tire fall off in lap time. Rodney's a 4-tire guy, and it's a tough one to make, but you've got to look at the situation. You've got 200 cars that you've been racing with all day long that have been aggressive on pit calls in the past.
So what's the risk versus reward knowing your driver and maybe giving him confidence in those final laps?
Yeah, definitely one of those things. You do want to give him confidence, but you have to be aware of the situation as well. There's going to be 3 to at most 4 laps to go when you take this. You can't put yourself 4 rows back. And that's what ended up happening. Now, Rodney doesn't know that as he comes to pit road. He doesn't know how many cars are going to take 2, but you've got to assume that a few of them do, especially since the 100 cars had won at Vegas the weekend before on a 2-tire call.
And they weren't the only ones that took 4 tires. Let's talk about Tyler Reddick. That was another team that elected to take 4 tires. However, their circumstances very different than Harvick's.
Yeah, it's very different than Harvick's. And if we stop this restart and look at it, Harvick's here in 4th. On the bottom line, and Reddick's right behind him in 5th. That's a different call because he came down pit road 5th. He's not going to beat the 4 cars that are ahead of him. He hasn't all day long. So he's got to do something different than they have. Knowing that Rudy Fugle and a 24 have been aggressive, that Cliff Daniels is probably going to be just as aggressive, he elects the 4-tire call and has a great restart and gets himself well forward where he can be an impact on the end of the race.
All right, let's fast forward. Final question. Phoenix Raceway, it's the championship race at the end of the season. If the 4 team finds themselves in the championship 4, does Rodney make a different call if in the same position?
I think he does. I think he does if in the same position, but you've got to be aware of all the situations that are playing right now. But given this call, with limited laps left, ultimately a green-white checker. 3 laps to start with, then they had a green-white checker, but you can't bury yourself that deep on a place that's this hard to pass.
Well, I guess we won't know until November. Don't forget to tune in each and every week to NASCAR Inside the Race.